All right, free radicals of all shapes, sizes, colors, denominations, orientations, and yes, even educations and political affiliations. That's very important today. Aloha. Tulsi Gabbard just became the smartest woman on television today. People from various political backgrounds, conservative, progressive, no neoliberals and no neoconservatives, however. They're all cheering and loving this. And by the way, Donald Trump, who I voted for in the last election, all right, has completely gone 180 degrees against what he campaigned on. And if you rewrite the articles of impeachment to include this kind of behavior, all right, which is just an abomination, if you ask me. There's no reason to go after this guy. There's no reason to take this guy out. These people are not provoking the United States. I don't understand what this is right now. I don't understand why we're doing it, other than the fact that the country tends to unite around the idea of war. We send our troops in, and people rally. Because nobody in the media, by the way, ever says, maybe we should take a step back. Now, there are partisan Democrats who are coming out, even though this would be their policy. If they were doing this, there'd be no pushback, no blowback. They'd be talking about how great it is. Most of the neoliberals are going to say, yeah, it's Trump doing it, and I don't like it. But if I was doing it, it would be the greatest thing. Soleimani assassination by U.S., an adventurous move that will flare up tensions in the Middle East. Now, I know this comes from Moscow. This is RT. I've been doing a lot of reporting using RT, and again, this is why I need your support over here on YouTube. I mentioned it early in the video here because, look, to report things like this and actually say this stuff and upload the video and have it play is a complete counter-cultural move, a counter-media intuitive move, all right? And I'm doing it because I care about my kids, I care about my country, and I'm tired of this not getting out there. So this does come from RT America. Sorry, just letting you know. And again, if you can support the channel via PayPal, Patreon, however, again, if you do it on Patreon, I share this Patreon account with my other music-related platform. I wish I could do this full-time and not even do the music platform, but I've got to do one to basically support the other, because my passion is in this. This is I love music, but this is... Anyway. This is slightly more important than worrying about, whether the Rolling Stones will ever tour again. The U.S. airstrike that killed a senior Iranian commander near Baghdad will exacerbate tensions throughout the Middle East. That's, again, from the Russian Foreign Ministry. The commander of Iran's Quds force was killed in a U.S. operation at Baghdad International Airport on Friday morning. Baghdad. Does that ring a bell? Anybody, Bueller, anybody out there remember that we went to Baghdad before? We've been there, we've done that, but yet we're back again. If you voted for Donald Trump, and, full disclosure, in case you joined this channel later, then at the beginning when I told people I did mea culpas and I did repentance and I was blessed with holy water and so forth, and I said, look, I made a mistake voting for Trump. And this morning I wake up and I go, holy crap, this is even worse. I mean, what happened to the art of the deal? Okay, there's no art of the deal here. This is not negotiating. This is not diplomacy. Hiring Donald Trump to be president. Remember, I'll make the greatest deals in the world. He hasn't been able to make a deal with North Korea. He hasn't made a good deal with China as far as the trade stuff goes. All right, all of these great deals that we were supposed to see. Remember Mexico, if you're for the border wall, remember Mexico was going to pay for that wall. And a lot of Americans would probably say, okay, if they're going to pay for it and they're going to build it or whatever. And we all bought it. We all said, yeah, because you repeat the same thing over and over again. People tend to believe it. By the way, Congress did fund that wall in the midst of the impeachment fiasco. All right. Articles of impeachment, though, if you rewrite them, I will be there cheerleading on this channel for it. If you rewrite them and include, there's no authorization here to go in. This is unconstitutional what Trump is doing here. And that's why, I turned on him to begin with. Now, not only am I turning on him, but I'm losing any sympathy that I have for his battle with the whole Ukraine fake thing, which, again, if the Democrats would do the right thing and impeach on the proper things, look at Tulsi Gabbard's censure. You could get Tulsi in on this and say, yeah, I'm in on this now because you guys are actually addressing the things that are very important rather than some hoax. I don't know. They want to impeach on a hoax because, again, in the end, they don't want to be responsible for foreign policy that apparently is out of everyone's control and is handled by the bureaucracy within the Pentagon and other alphabet soup agencies. And that just shows you that we don't have control of our own government. Trump is a puppet. Okay? Obama was a puppet. George W. Bush was a puppet. Clinton, to some degree, was a puppet. George H.W. Bush wasn't a puppet. He was calling the shots. He was leading the way into this new world that we're currently in. Reagan actually was fairly peaceful compared to what has happened since his administration. The targeted assassination has sparked anger in Iran and Iraq. Officials in Tehran pledged to avenge the death of the high-profile member of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, while Iran's caretaker prime minister called it an act of aggression against his country that violates the terms under which American troops are hosted on Iraqi soil. Okay, not only are we flying against the United States Constitution, we make a deal over there, and we're breaking the deal. These people, can you blame these people for not wanting us there? And isn't this the kind of behavior that kind of inspired what happened on 9/11? Seriously, I know this video is probably not going to be monetized. That's why I need your support again. Patreon, PayPal. I'll continue to talk about that. Washington considers the IRGC, which they declared, this is something they declared last year to prime this up, to grease the skids, to make this all a thing now. Because it wasn't a thing. This wasn't a terrorist organization. All of a sudden, their army, their standing army, is now a terrorist organization. So they're not allowed to have an army. That's what this says. And I'm not I'm not saying that everything that happens in this country, in Iraq, is good, but why is it our business? What does this have to do with us right now? The killing comes days after Iran-backed Iraqi militias staged a riot at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, a response to U.S. retaliatory airstrikes at militia forces. Ramping it up, baby. Ramping it up. That's what we're doing. So Tulsi Gabbard became the smartest woman in the room. Her foreign policy is more relevant than ever. And people need to have her on their show to talk about her campaign, to talk about her ideas for peace and prosperity. Because look, we are doing it again. And I can't see how Americans and Trump supporters, if you're a Trump supporter this morning, I'm sorry, you have to be so embarrassed. And it's not because of all the things that Trump says, it's not his tweets, it's this. It's this pile of burning rubble that you're looking at on your screen. Here we go again. He ran against George W. Bush's foreign policy. He took Jeb Bush to the woodshed, rightfully so. And now, just a few years later, here we are, doing the same old thing and expecting a different result. Just madness. Please support this channel if you can via Patreon, PayPal. I will put my PayPal email address in the description of this video. Support Tulsi Gabbard with your financial contributions. Support peace candidates. Even if you have to go to the Green Party, please consider it. Please. I know some are libertarians. If you want to go to the Libertarian Party, that's fine too. But again, in the end, we need a serious counter-peace offensive against this crazy foreign policy, which we've just amped up yet again. It's incredible. All right. See you soon.